Hey folks, this is HEROSTARJAMES popping in with a little more information of what I've been thinking of. And I think Mayor John Tory and the good side of the law may need to know some of this information. See, Mayor John Tory, after I was saving the two teenage girls in broad daylight from a well-known predator, well, the word on the street was that if I gave up the smokes, that all of these three parties or whoever was hounding me, that they were going to box me in on the streets and take me out completely. See, Mr. Mayor John Tory, I used to, just like when I used to clean up the city of Toronto, I used to have one headphone in one ear so I could listen to a tune and one headphone out, so I'm able to cover my back. And well, because Mr. Mayor John Tory, you got the city full of drunks, you got the city full of sketchy people that are looking to get high, and they don't care who they hurt or how they get high. Well, if you're just a one guy with a broom and dustpan, and yep, if they see that you might get a little bit of pocket change off of people saying thank you, well, those sketchy people or those drunks that ain't got the class or decency to go out and make a few bucks for themselves to cover their own habits, they much rather steal yours. Well, Mr. Mayor John Tory one's got to be old school and be street smart all at the same time, even though if you're a volunteer and you're helping bring in billions of dollars and you're helping to keep the city of Toronto clean, and you're helping the tourists want to come to Toronto because they get the word of how clean and, beautiful Toronto is. So, Mr. Mayor John Tory, see, I've got no problem giving up the smokes. But see, Mr. Mayor John Tory, now one side of the law came and sit down and talk to me, and if I had some sort of piece of paper that, let me know that your side of the law is protecting me and looking out for my back for now, well, that might encourage me to give up the habit. But see, Mr. Mayor John Tory, since after saving the two teenage girls, it's been only me, myself, and I, and all three parties combined with all of Toronto. And see, Mr. Mayor John Tory, I lost all my friends and everything after saving the teenage girls in broad daylight. Mr. Tom Shows, Movie Show and Crew, and one other party. I don't know. And yet, Mr. John Tory, let me bring this to your attention as well. See, Mr. John Tory, when I walked into a certain coffee shop back in 2012, like in my notes, there was a cougar named Paige that I was madly attracted to, and yes, Mr. Mayor John Tory, she certainly did give me some happy hours. Let me tell you, you're an older gentleman, so I'm pretty sure you know that I'm trying to keep this kid friendly as much as possible, so you know what a happy hour is. Yeah, so it's not my fault that these guys can do their homework, and well, those were the rumors on the streets that as soon as I gave up the cigarettes, I was like a rabbit being handled by all these foxes and goons and whatever you want to call them. As soon as I gave up the cigarettes, all these parties almost had me boxed in, and they were going to put me 10 feet under regardless. And that's all after saving two teenage girls, Mr. John Tory. That's all the truth. See, I've got no problem giving up the smokes, but see, Mr. John Tory, because of Tom Shells and all this crap, sad part is, after bringing in billions of dollars, my true friend and all I had was a habit. And before I do sign off, Mr. John Tory, I'd like to let you and your good side of the law, like in my notes, know before this, and before 2013, when I saved the two teenage girls, I only smoked 8 to 10 a day. It wasn't too bad. If I went out to do karaoke and had a few beers, and there's a couple ladies out on the patio or whatnot, sure, I might smoke a little more, but every other time, 8 to 10 cigarettes per day. And that wasn't so bad, but see, John and Tory and the good side of law, 3 parties and all this crap after saving 2 teenage girls, me, myself, and I, nobody else helping, not one. So it was either the cigarettes, if I didn't smoke, Lord knows I was barely able to eat a meal in privacy or any dignity, Mr. Mayor John Tory. So if I didn't have something to release the stress, if I didn't have my corny sense of humor, Mr. John Tory, think I'd be alive today? Who did I have? Nobody. See, we had Mayor Rob Ford, but he was too busy and preoccupied with his own stuff. No offense to Mr. Mayor Rob Ford, but I'm just saying he was too preoccupied with his own stuff, let alone to see whatever's going on with me. And regardless, one side of the law didn't do nothing to help me, and 2 predators and pedophile groups, movie show and crew, and yep, Tom Shells, all after saving 2 teenage girls. And let me remind you, Mr. Mayor John Tory, they even put a $500,000 bounty, and then they increased it probably to $2 million. So, you know, I don't know. And yet, Mr. Mayor John Tory, let me bring this to your attention too. Last Easter, I was in the Jane and Outlook area. It was a little bit of a snowy storm on Easter, and I happened to be walking up to Jane and Outlook area, where I seen a woman sitting and squatting by a fire hydrant, and a bunch of people all around her. And I seen 2 cars that looked like they collided, and then I seen something on the ground, and lo and behold, I seen that it was I didn't know it was an old man, but I seen that there was somebody laying on the ground. And, well, the light was about to change, and, you know, as I'm trying to cross the street to get to that man that's laying on the road's aid, one of these shadows or whatnot that were following me got in the way of me just a split second. Would have cost me that light. And you know, Mr. Mayor John Tory, that man that was laying on the road, see, I stood in front of that man that was laying on the road. I had my Canada flag and my orange vest thingy and all that sort of stuff, and I had my little flashlight, and I was waving the buses and the cars to make sure they weren't running that man that was laying on the ground, because nobody else was paying any attention to him. But see, Mr. Mayor John Tory, all in the same night, Mr. Tom Shells was right in front of me. He didn't know who I was, but he was too preoccupied to know who that man was standing there and what's he doing and all that sort of stuff. And one of the people that was tending to the older lady realized, hey, and started thinking I was stupid, but then he was talking to Mr. Tom Shells and realized that if I wasn't staying there, the man that was laying on the road, yep, he would have quite a few times. And yep, I am not trying to be vulgar or rude and all that sort of stuff, but that's the truth. And you know, Mr. Mayor John Tory, just this winter, there was 4 kids on the little ice pond, well, the pond where I live. And yep, no sooner did I yell at those kids to get off the ice did give away all this year. And the ice storm, just Christmas Eve or whatnot, I was going to my sister's, and I noticed that there was a wine box leading up against the family's home just right after the ice storm, and everybody just got the power 2 days after. and the box was in flames, leaning up against the door. So I went and knocked on the door, and I pulled the wine box away from the house and threw it in the snow, because no sooner did I do that, poof, it went up in flames. So, Mr. Mayor John Tory, it's not that I can't give up the smokes, but nobody's given me any leeway or options, and yep, Mr. Mayor John Tory, see, after 2011, when I got out of St. Mike's Hospital, I wasn't in the greatest shape, but come 2012, I walked into 2 cups where all these shadows and parties that were violating me and depriving me or whatnot, well, I was in my hospital bed. I didn't even know I was there, but they followed me to my hospital bed, and they followed me right out of my hospital bed, right into 2 cups, where all my life and all my friends and everything else got totally destroyed. And yep, there was a young lady in 2 cups, I shall say, that the 2 teenage girls that I helped save, the well-known predator was going around and bumming change and all that sort of stuff. And you know, Mr. Mayor John Tory, a lot of these law officials knew who this perp was, but didn't lift no finger, didn't get my side of the stuff. And yeah, let me bring this to you, Mr. Mayor John Tory in City Hall. All in the same breath, Mr. Tom Shells was very, very eager to rip me apart, but he didn't, there wasn't any explanations and all that sort of stuff. And after a night of Bob Dylan, these 3 parties almost had me shot and killed 3 times. It's not that I can't give up the smoke, Mr. Mayor John Tory, but after saving the 2 teenage girls and just me, myself, and well, a lot of people turned their backs on me. And I knew a lot of these people for many, many years. Back from, let's say, Tracks 5 years. And yep, Mr. Mayor John Tory, well, I would like to also bring this to your attention and to the side of the law, like in my notebooks. Why I'm so gay friendly, because all my mom's friends when I was growing up, they were all gay. I lived in the community of Church Street. I grew up there off and on. And yeah, all my mom's friends, they were gay. And that's the way I was brought up and raised. You know, like old school. I watched Little House on the Prairie and all them stuff. You know, you treat people with respect and it's supposed to come back to you the same way. But Tom Shells living on Goldwyn followed me through Hyde Park and through the rest of my life. You know, that wasn't part of my dreams or my goals. And yep, movie show and crew. And one side of the law, not doing nothing. I don't know. But yep, that's my side of stuff. And yep, like I said, 2012, after I got out of the hospital, as soon as I walked into 2 cups, I felt the negative energies. I wasn't sure what, but I said, let's sit down and talk. But nope, nobody wanted to do nada. Even though I wrote notes and nobody showed any warrants or showed any probable cause, they would look over my notes, but mostly Mr. Tom Shells would be. As soon as I came back in, he'd be quietly wandering away from my notebooks. And yep, I'm going to say the young lady that I tried to save from the predator that I put away, I call her the Queen of the Silver Dollar. No regards, but that's just a Dr. Hook's theme song. And you know that song, Mr. John Tory. You're old school just like me. So, you know, that was just her nickname. And yep, I loved her like a baby sister. Nothing more, nothing less. But yep, I used to think if I would have been younger, the Queen of the Silver Dollar, well, if I was looking for a mom for my child, she's got the perfect energy and all that sort of stuff, but I wasn't quite strong and all that and able-bodied yet. But let me also remind you this one thing before I do log off, that 2012, when Yonge Street celebrated 100 years, I was there, and I cleaned up, I think it was 8 or 9 weeks. I was fine after that. I was back on my feet. But after saving the 2 teenage girls in broad daylight, I never stood a chance. It's not the cigarettes that was killing me, Mr. John Tory. It's the 3 parties. And yep, all of Toronto certainly didn't help. They all teamed up with Tom Shells, the Movie Show and crew. And yep, they didn't get all the faxes and details and information, but the 3 parties made me look like a James Alfred Cooper. Well, really, Mr. Tom Shells, the Movie Show and crew, they're way, way worse than James Alfred Cooper, and James Alfred Cooper should not have been released at all. So, like I say, I've got no problem giving up the habits, but see, if I don't have some sort of paper that's saying that I'm protected by your side of the law and Mr. John Tory, if any way possible, I would like some sort of letter or whatnot stating like a peace bond that Mr. Tom Shells and Movie Show and crew, they have to stay 100 feet away from me and stay out of my life permanently, but at least until the courts of Canada and all this is going, I would like some sort of document stating that Mr. Tom Shells must stay 100 feet away from me. If I'm in, let's say, 2 cups working, and Mr. Moneybags walks in and sees me there, well, he's got to walk right out and go away, or he's going to be charged. I'd much rather see Mr. Tom Shells and Movie Show and crew behind bars, but until Courts of Canada, that's what I need, Mr. Mayor John Tory. Some sort of letter from you and your team stating that, like a peace bond, that Tom Shells has to stay 100 feet away from me, or at least if he's arrested, Movie Show and crew. Like, I don't hate the side of the law. I just hate the fact that they didn't do nothing. And these are the people that I wished to be when I was a little wee fellow myself. I dreamed of being in the eyes of the law. Not for the power of the gun, but making the streets a safer place for teens and children. And yep, they let me down just like the rest of Toronto. And I was born here and raised. So, it's not the cigarettes. They may be killing me now, but like I say, I only smoked 8 to 10 cigarettes a day. And through all this, they increased me like maybe a pack and a half a day, maybe. And what choices did I really have? I had to release the stress somehow, and yep, as soon as I heard wind that, that they're going to jump me, I would wait a little bit, and with my psychic gifts, I certainly felt the vibe that something was going to happen very, very soon. So if I don't stop and take a smoke, just like a rabbit, if you get hungry in the forest, you stop and take a bite of your carrot, you sort of look around at your surroundings, and yep, you sense danger, well, you sort of get your guard and whatever ready so you can do whatever you have to do. Like I say to the side of the law that's handling this case from 2012 till now that did nothing, I don't hate you. I'm just disappointed. I'm not trying to steal your jobs. You guys shouldn't be blaming me for none of this mess. If you want to blame somebody, blame Tom Shells and the Movie Show and crew. I didn't get you guys into this mess. Don't blame me. Don't pin this all on me. Be the people that you swore that you'd be. Good heroes and do the right thing. Don't blame me. You're all trying to gang up on me and blame me for what Tom Shells and the Movie Show and crew got you in. I didn't get you into it, so just remember that. I don't hate you. It's Tom Shells and the Movie Show and crew that got you in this mess, not me. I was too busy cleaning up Church Street in Toronto, and I was too busy recovering after getting out of the hospital because Tom Shells and the Movie Show and crew put me there. And yep, I ended up 70 pounds. And I'll also tell you this, Mr. Mayor John Tory, I've got quite a few tapes. And the last tape that I found was 2010 Pride. You won't really see me in it, but you'll see a few friends that I was hanging around with, and one of the friends stayed in my place before the fire. That also knows Mr. Tom Shells, that I seen together at the other coffee shop a little bit after tracks 5. Well, no, a little more after my father passed away. Yeah, a little after my father passed away. When me and a friend of Tom Shells sort of became friends, but see, Tom Shells may have followed me into tracks 5, where I worked in the gay bar as a busboy, cleaner, whatnot. I didn't mind, because it was the way I was brought up, and I was comfortable with it. And yep, I'm not ashamed of my ways of working, and I'm definitely not ashamed of getting up and getting out there and trying. So, that would certainly help ease my mind there, Mr. Mayor John Tory, if you and your side of the law could do some sort of peace bond thingy that keeps Mr. Tom Shells away from me 100 feet, and also holds him 100% responsible, that if anybody lays a finger on me, if I get hurt in any way, shape, or form, well, at least tell the courts of Canada I need some sort of reinsurance. If I can get something like that, I can work on giving up the smokes. But see, Mr. Mayor John Tory, all in my notes, March 1st of 2015, I almost had my own place lined up right down Church Street that I could afford, but these 3 parties cost me that. These 3 parties had whoever followed me in and seen that I had an appointment and I was all gung-ho. See, Mr. Mayor John Tory, I even canceled my internet last year because I was all set to move into this new place down on Church Street that the 3 parties cost me, and chances are the friend of Tom Shells, I should say, got my place that I was in line for, because there was 2 people that were after me that were into it, but the people that I had a meeting with, they seemed pretty impressed with me, and yep, they also knew I was a volunteer litter guy, and I also said that I'd be more than glad to go around the neighborhood or outside and all that, clean up the surroundings, and if you guys need help cleaning up the apartments or whatever, just let me know. They were quite happy about that, so I don't know. It wasn't the cigarettes alone, Mr. Mayor John Tory. See, Mr. Mayor John Tory, it deprived me of eating as well. So if I didn't eat the one meal that I was able to muster up, what would kill me first, Mr. Mayor John Tory? The cigarette or not eating? How long can one go without food, Mr. Mayor John Tory, and your side of the law, City Hall? I would like that question answered. How long can one go without food? What, less than 8 days? It's been going on since 2013, but it's been going on since 2011, 2010, when they put me in the hospital. 5 years. And yep, Mr. Mayor John Tory, our place I've been, if I'm not sure how you can do it, but if everybody backtrack to say like track 5 and up till now, every place has video cameras, and yep, wherever I've been, I wasn't worried about it till 2010, but good chances are you'll find Tom Shells and whoever else in those videos. If I was running this case and investigating, first places I'd be going to. Yep. Love and peace. And I'm not trying to bring you into this, Mr. Mayor John Tory, but sorry, you're the only side of the law that I trust right now. And you did respond to me one time on Facebook. You're the side of the law with guns. After that, you became a good friend. But I don't want to bring you into this and all that sort of stuff. But like I say, you're the only side right now I trust. If the other side of the law and partners or whatnot that were good, Like I say to the ones that were handling this case, I don't hate you, just a little disappointed. And like I say one last time, don't pin this and blame this on me. Tom Shell's Movie Show and Crew. You should be blaming, not me. It's not me costing you jobs, and it's not me that got you guys into this mess. I'm the victim that you guys let down. That's the truth. Right or wrong? You guys know that now, huh? Just because I'm gay friendly and good looking and all that sort of stuff, and because I got the baby face, what? That's my fault that Tom Shells followed me ever since I was 11 or 12 years old, right to Hyde Park, right to Church Street, and wherever else. That's all my doing? Really? No offense, I ain't being rude, but I'm on the verge of dying because, well, all three parties in Toronto let me down. That's truth, Mr. Tom Shells, Movie Show and Crew, they deprived me of any chances of finding a wife, having a son, a daughter of my own, landing real paying jobs, and 30 years later, I'm broke and all that sort of stuff, my health's deteriorating, and yep, before 2010, I was somewhat happy before I found out about the HIV thing, and yep, well, I'm thinking about that Mr. John Tory, Tom Scholes, and the Movie Show and Crew may be responsible because I was in love with a cougar. She had 4 boys. I was madly in love with her. I think I was 22, 23 at the time, but somehow that all went sour. And I moved into a place that my grandfather owned. She and her 4 boys lived above me. She came down with coffee. Next I know, we were upstairs and all friends having a few beers, and we were together maybe a year and a half. But things went sour because apparently ex-boyfriend or whatnot was coming back, but chances are Tom Shells and Movie Show and Crew got their noses into that and destroyed that. Before, when I was with her, I wasn't fighting the fight. Not that I know of. I didn't have it then. Love and peace.